Hello everyone, my name is Bhante Wade Puripanyo and I'm here at Empty Cloud Monastery in the library. I'm joined by a few overnight lay guests and we have a new arrival, a Machi, who's arrived also this evening. We'll be staying here for a short time at Empty Cloud Monastery. And I'm going to be doing another guided meditation, which has become the trend, the theme for Wednesday nights for the live streams. And so we can move right into that, right into the guided meditation. And some of these live streams I talk about setting up the meditation posture. I won't talk about it too much this evening, but if you would like guidance on that, you could probably find it in some of the earlier live streams I've done, the guided meditations on Wednesday nights, which can be found on the YouTube channel for Buddhist Insights in Empty Cloud Monastery. And so what I'll say is that we could practice this meditation in a standing posture if you like, or seated on the floor, as I'm doing, or seated in a chair, or even lying on the floor. You could do it if you like. And we'll start, if we're sitting or standing, by adopting kind of an upright posture. Lying on the floor, you might stretch out a bit if you are lying on the floor. And I'll suggest closing the eyes, unless you're drowsy, or unless you have a tendency to see a lot of images when you close your eyes, or if it's otherwise uncomfortable. If you want, you can leave them open and just gaze in an unfocused way at the floor or at a wall or something like this. Something that's not distracting. And then if you're seated or standing, I would like you to imagine that you have a cord attached at the top of your head, and that it stretches up to the sky, up to the ceiling, or all the way up into the sky. Drawing you into an upright position, gently lifting you just a little bit so that your head rises and your neck straightens. If you're lying on the floor, you might just imagine that you have a cord attached to the top of your head, and it's just helping you to straighten out a little bit. As is comfortable. And we all can feel our upper back straighten and the middle back. And if we're seated, we can roll our pelvis forward, just so that the lower back curves in the lumbar. If we're standing, we might want to fold the pelvis, and rotate the pelvis back, I should say, so the back is straight, and allow the shoulders to relax and curve inward just a little bit. And then we'll allow our awareness to slowly and mindfully travel back up through the body. Up through the middle back and the upper back, and the neck again, all the way up to the head. And notice the crown of the head again. And experience how it feels. If it helps, you can lay the palm of your hand on top of your head to make contact there. And experience how the crown of the head feels. Perhaps at first the scalp, and then venture inward and sense the feelings inside the crown of the head. Just experience the sensations there. And as you do so, allow them to relax. And we'll linger there for a few more moments. Experiencing the sensations in the crown of the head. And allowing them to relax. All right. Then we'll move down and pay attention to the forehead. Experience how the forehead feels. This may be a dramatic slowing down of life and of the mind. a very special thing to do. Getting in touch with the body. And so, with some patience, we dwell here, experiencing the sensations in the forehead, and allow it to relax too. Just allow any tension to ease out. Just relax. All right. Now we'll become sensitive to the temples, or one temple or the other. And experience how they feel. And allow them to relax too. If the mind wanders, we just notice this and put down whatever it's gotten involved with. And then gently come back. To the sensations in the temples. And allow them to relax. All right. Now we'll pay attention to the eyes. Experience how the eyes feel. And allow any tension there to unclench. This is knowing and letting go. In this case, experiencing just how the eyes feel. And allowing any tension there to unseize, to relax. Very good. Okay. Now we'll pay attention to the areas around the nose and pay attention to the cheeks and the areas around the mouth and to the jaws. Experiencing how the lower areas of the face feel. And allowing them to relax too. This may take some patience. And we may want to use some compassion. we can allow the jaw to slacken just a little bit as it relaxes. Now you can stay with any of these areas we've touched on if you like, or you can segue with me to paying attention to the back of the head. And notice how the back of the head feels. And allow the back of the head also to relax. And we'll dwell there for a few more moments. Experiencing the back of the head. And allow it to relax. Okay, now we'll gently move down to the neck and the throat. And experience how they feel. You might also notice or imagine the muscles there in the neck and in the throat as you experience how they feel. and allow them to relax too. If we notice that the mind wanders or begins thinking, we can just for now put it aside. We're not interested in anything else right now. We'll come back to the neck and the throat and experience how they feel. And allow them to relax. If we start to feel drowsy, we might open our eyes if they're closed. Allow some light in. Take some deep in-breaths. And call up our inner energy and raise ourselves up internally. All right. And then going into the final stages of this body scan section of the meditation, we'll pay attention to the tops of the shoulders. And here too we might imagine the muscles there in the tops of the shoulders and get in touch and dwell in the shoulders and experience the sensations there. With your sense of feeling, and be with the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders, and feeling how they feel. Allow them to loosen and relax. You can allow them to gently ease downward a bit as they relax. All right. And then we'll pay attention to the chest. Experience how the chest feels. And allow the chest to relax too. As you experience the chest, allow it to slowly soften. And you can allow it to sag and relax a little bit. And you may notice the weight now of the upper body. See if you can dwell there, experiencing for a few moments the weight of the upper body. These areas that we have experienced. All right. And next, I would like you to imagine your spiritual heart there in the middle of your chest. Imagine with your sense of feeling and get in touch with your spiritual heart. In the middle of your chest. You can imagine it coming down from wherever it is. and slowly relaxing into that space. There in the middle of the chest. It might feel like a flock of small butterflies, slowly coming down and coming to rest there in the middle of the chest. And so we allow it to gather and collect there. And allow it to relax. And observe any sensations or feelings there. Just dwelling there with your sense of feeling. As a gentle observer. If you notice anything there, you can drop into the heart just the simple question, what is it? All right. Now I would like to give us an opportunity to change our posture a little bit if we would like to. We can notice first any interest or intention to move, and then slowly and mindfully make any adjustments to our posture that we'd like, being aware of the bodily movements. If you even want to move to a chair, if you're sitting on the floor and want to move to a chair, you can, or if you're standing. And then settle into your new posture. Perhaps imagine again that cord attached to the crown of the head. If it seems comfortable and convenient, stretching up to the ceiling or up into the sky, gently drawing you again into an upright position, an upright posture. And then we'll draw our attention to our breathing. Right there again in the middle of the chest. Notice the breath there as it rises and descends through the middle of the chest. Or perhaps the rise and fall of the chest itself. And notice what seems natural for breathing, and allow yourself to breathe in a way that feels good. And we can even try a little breathing exercise. We'll take, for those of you who would like to do it, we'll take 2 in-breaths in rapid succession. So in and then in again till the lungs are filled with air. And then exhale, letting all of the air out. So again, an inhale, and then immediately again another inhale, filling the lungs with air, and then exhaling and allowing the air to go out. All right, doing that once or twice. Getting all the CO2 out of the lungs, they say. And plenty of oxygen in, and see what feels comfortable for the breath. Whether it's more deep breaths or allowing the breath to go shallow. Do what seems to feel good for the breath. And then allow it to settle as it likes. Over time, into a natural rhythm. As you remain aware of it, sensing it there, in the middle of the chest, or sensing the rise and fall of the chest itself. and see how closely you can be with the breath. See if you can draw close to the breath with your awareness, with your sense of feeling. Even if possible, becoming one with the breath. Breathing now in whatever way seems to be conducive to a close awareness of the breathing. If this is working for you, please just continue. But if it would help you to maintain your awareness of the breath, staying with the breath, we'll begin counting the breath. Starting with 1 on an in-breath and 2 on an out-breath, then 3 on an in-breath, and so on up to 10. Okay, go ahead and begin counting. All right, now if you've reached 10, that's good. If not, that's also okay. We'll begin again, counting with 1 on an in-breath, and 2 on an out-breath, 3 on an in-breath, and so on again, up to 10. Okay. Once again, if you've reached 10, that's great. If not, that's also okay. And now we'll count another set, starting again at 1. Okay. Now, I would like you to imagine that you are stretched out, lying on your back. That you're inside a box, looking up at the ceiling. And this may be a big moment for some of us, and we just want to maintain our awareness as an observer. As we see a loved one's face come into view, peering down at us. And then moving on. And then we see another loved one's face come into view, peering down at us. And then moving on. And then the priest, his face and his upper body come into view, peering down at us. And then he reaches across and up to the lid of this coffin and closes it over us. And everything becomes dark. It is the nature of all living beings that we must die. if we drop down into the heart, another question. What am I? And just experience. What am I? And experience with our sense of feeling what is happening inside. And then when the time is right, become aware of the sensation, the feeling of the upper body, the chest, perhaps the shoulders, the torso. Getting in touch with how it feels, just as it is. And then again the breath. There at the middle of the chest. Just experiencing it as it is. And see if you can harmonize your awareness again with the breath. Even again becoming one with it. If it helps, again, you can try counting. 1 on an in-breath, and 2 on an out-breath, 3 on an in-breath, and so on up to 10. See if you can assert your awareness just for a little while longer. And stay with the breath. And then count another set of 10. And let go of any suffering that may be in the heart. Just let it ease out. And let it go. And you can think, may I be free of suffering. All right. Now I'm going to slowly draw this meditation to a close. I'm going to start the transition by sounding a bell 3 times. So I'd like to ask you to listen with your awareness as the sound rises and changes and then slowly over time fades away. And then we can slowly raise our hands and join them palm to palm in front of our hearts with gratitude and respect for the meditation, experiencing the feeling of the palms touching and experiencing these emotions in the heart. And then we can slowly and mindfully lower our hands again. And then notice if we desire to move, if we want to adjust our posture at all. Become aware of this interest in moving, and then any intention to move. And then slowly and mindfully we can adjust our posture if we like. And then if our eyes have been closed, we can slowly open them as well, and with mindful awareness be aware of what we're seeing and see how we feel also. Especially compared to when we started. Are we more mindful? Are we clearer inside? Are we calmer and more grounded? And we have a little bit of time left. We can take any questions if we want to. Give a minute or two for people to type in questions, those who have been watching the live stream. Also can take questions from those of us gathered here in the library at Empty Cloud. Yes.
Is there a reason to relax from the belly, to the legs, to the feet?
Oh yes, okay. So we have an overnight lay guest here at the monastery who's following along with the guided meditation, and she's asked, is there a reason that in the beginning section of the meditation, when we're doing the body scan through the head and down through to the chest, we didn't continue to the lower body and the legs and so on? And certainly that's an option that we have in practicing this form of meditation. And if this works well for you, then I certainly would encourage you to do it. My purpose in this meditation was simply to with the body scan section to help us to kind of ground in the body and to relax the upper body and to ground in the body, and then to segue into coming in touch with the heart there in the chest. And then after getting in touch and experiencing the heart there in the chest, then to segue to breath meditation. there's a natural point of segue there with noticing the breath there at the heart or in the chest. And also, breath meditation is understood by the Theravadan tradition of Buddhism to be a suitable meditation object for all personality types. And so for doing a meditation for a general audience, it's one of a very natural type of meditation to do. And it's very good for developing mindfulness and for calming the body. And so that's why I took the tack in this meditation of doing that. Yeah, sure. But I've been doing that for quite a while now, this sequence. So maybe at some point I should do one where we go down into the lower body more and into the legs and so on. I think I've done it once before, rising up from the legs actually. And sometimes I focus on the abdomen, which is another natural place when also practicing breath meditation. And I think focusing on the abdomen can be very beneficial in and of itself to help the abdomen to relax. We often hold a lot of tension in our abdomens, right, in our stomachs, and many of us have health problems, health problems in our stomachs, in our abdomens, and paying attention to that area of the body, I think, can draw the energies of the body there and help to resolve issues in the abdomen. I know one young lady was doing a guided meditation with us here, and I was having us focus on that area, and she later said that at the beginning when we were starting the meditation, she had a stomach ache. She frequently has stomach aches. But in the process of becoming aware of the abdomen and allowing it to relax, the stomach ache entirely went away. And so if you have a situation like this with stomach problems, that could be an area to focus on. Or even just to get in touch with how it feels and to relax. And similarly with other areas of the body, if there's any tension or pain, being aware of that area of the body with mindfulness can really help it to relax. And this may or may not alleviate the pain, but at least it'll become easier to bear, even if just at the level that our emotions around it relax. We feel more comfortable emotionally as we simply observe it, and the heart lets go of any tension or pain in the body in that area. All right, we have a number of comments, and Anjali sent in. And one person said that they couldn't really follow along as I was instructing, and they said that it's in their genes that they some of their genes anyway reject all forms of spirituality, and so okay, that's okay. But it seems like he still got some benefit from it. He sends in some Anjalis as well, so I'm glad to see that. He at least still found some benefit in it. And 2 thumbs up from Kim. Thank you, Kim. She enjoys these midweek sessions. They keep her on track. And then it looks like another comment here. I'm having a difficult time not feeling overwhelmed with my responsibilities. I'm finding myself overwhelmed with all the beings around me that don't meditate. Any advice? Okay. Overwhelmed with responsibilities and overwhelmed with beings around her, this is Brooke, and beings around her that don't meditate. I think, one thing of course is that we want to try, if we can, if we don't already have a regular meditation practice, to try to keep to a regular meditation practice in our lives. This helps us slowly over time to let go and for the heart to become calmer. This form of meditation can be very good. Breath meditation, as I was saying, is a meditation technique that's suitable for all personality types, according to the Theravadan tradition of Buddhism. Another form of meditation that can be very helpful is loving-kindness meditation. And even just the simple recollection of peace also. Sometimes we do that in our guided meditations, just wishing for ourselves, may I be calm, may I be calm. We can try this in our formal meditation, or we can even just take a minute from time to time throughout the day, just to stop, to take a pause on everything in life, and be aware of the breath, or this kind of a recollection of peace, perhaps harmonizing it with our breath. We can think as we're breathing in, may I, and as we breathe out, be calm. May I be calm. If we do this for a full minute, sometimes our lives feel so busy, it might seem like a long time, but it's actually only a minute. If we do it a few times or several times a day, this will make a big difference in how we feel throughout the day. Another thing we can do is we can consider the Buddhist teaching on the not-self nature of these kinds of phenomena. So we can think about our responsibilities and recognize that actually, in fact, they're not me and they're not mine. Sometimes the heart loses sight of this. These responsibilities that we have, whatever they may be, they're impermanent. There was a time before we had them. And then we have these responsibilities, and these responsibilities are changing, just as we're changing. And then, in the future, we'll stop having these responsibilities. One way or another, these responsibilities will come to an end, and there will be a time after. And so as they arise and change and then go away, we can reflect that actually, in fact, while we have these responsibilities, they're not really us, and they're not ours. We'll have to eventually go our separate ways. Similarly, we can consider the people in our lives that we come in contact with. There was a time before we knew them. And then our relationships with them came into being. We came into contact with them and we started relating to them. And then our relationships change. And in the future, we'll have to part ways. Our relationships with them will stop. We'll stop having relationships with them. There will be a time afterward. And so our relationships with these people and all the beings around us are also not us, and they're not ours. And this simple reflection, if we work through this a little bit, intentionally, with mindfulness, can help the heart to let go. We don't have to forget about our responsibilities and the people in our lives altogether, but having let go, to some extent, practicing like this from time to time and letting go, we'll be clearer inside and we'll feel lighter. And then in turn we'll be more skillful in fulfilling our duties and interacting with the beings around us. And life will be a lot easier. Okay. I hope that was helpful, Brooke. Don't hesitate to write in more if you have additional questions or comments. And I'm seeing another comment from Infinite Logic Man. All right, following up, I think, on his previous comments about difficulty kind of getting on board with spirituality, you might say, if I say it in my own words. We've got to live for real as well as my philosophy. And hopefully we can harmonize at least this experience of mindfulness. If we just have this mindfulness, this awareness of what's really happening in the present moment. It's a kind of can be looked at it as a way of using our qualities of observation just to experience life as it really is. And so that's a way of living for real too, I think. Perhaps I can offer that. Okay. It looks like we can find some common ground there. Yeah, looks infinite logic man agrees. Okay. Well, wonderful, everyone. Okay, maybe I'll draw this live stream to a close. We can rejoice in each other's practice. This is very good karma from a Buddhist point of view, and even if we don't believe in karma, it feels good to rejoice, I think. And so, if we 3 times say sadhu to rejoice, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Of course, each of us can rejoice in our own way as we like. But there are people trying to be more mindful and aware and grow in wisdom. And then Infinite Logic Man says, thank you, you're very welcome, of course. And those of us who would like to, we can pay respects to the Triple Gem. I'll turn and pay respects to the Buddha image behind me. And we'll pay respects as we like to the image we may have. And then we can bow to our parents and to our teachers as we like. All right. Well, there'll be more live streams as usual on Thursday and Friday. Of course, there are many live streams archived on the YouTube channel if you'd like to go and look for more guided meditations or sutta studies or Dhamma talks. And then the in-person, the live programs Saturday evening here at Empty Cloud from 6 to 7:30, and then on Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Of course, we have the volunteer opportunities in the morning on Sunday starting at 8 a.m. And so we'll draw this live stream to a close. May you all continue to prosper in the Dhamma. Until next time, I hope you have a very good night. Be well.